Right now, there are a lot of people saying pursuing a doctoral degree is a waste of time. But let me show you how I will use my doctoral degree to create opportunities, generate income, and make it a good return on investment. We're going to call this the Teach, Show, Grow method. I need you to write that down. And I'm going to break this thing down. So, first thing, teach. You are doing research, whether that's qualitative research or quantitative research. And as a result of doing that, you're learning the process of designing research studies. You are also using AI within your research studies. You may even be building websites or creating products. Don't assume everybody else knows how to do that. A lot of people enter the doctoral journey completely lost on how to do that. But more importantly, there are other people who could benefit from your knowledge. So I want you to teach them. Yes, teach the students, teach the faculty, teach the professionals in the organizations the skill sets that you have learned in order to get through this doctoral journey. Number two, show. Don't let this stuff just sit on a document and a piece of paper that sits on a library website. I want you to show this. You can show this on a website. You can show it on YouTube, IG, TikTok. You can create a podcast with the stuff that you have learned, but more importantly, the things that the research you're doing benefits, right? So show this stuff. Don't hold on to it, okay? And then this leads me to the last one, which is grow. Because as you teach and as you show, you grow. But it's not just any type of growth. You grow in your understanding of your knowledge. You grow in terms of your capacity. You grow in terms of your skill set. And that positioning that you gain from doing that allows you to be on certain stages. It allows people to reach out to you. And more importantly, it brings in income. It brings in people that are looking for the type of things that you know. And if you're able to explain this to a third grader and they can understand it, this means you're positioned to be able to grow what? Your pockets. And that's what you want to do. Not be sitting here letting this degree just waste time. There are a lot of people that I read and hear their videos and they're just, oh, this has been this difficult. They're not seeing the benefit in the difficult points in the journey. They're also not seeing the benefits in the good times. And I'm saying we've got to stop thinking that our degree is only going to position us to be one thing. So I got this PhD, so the only thing I can go do is be a professor or a researcher. No. My wife was attending this workshop where people were using photo voice. And for those of you all who are unfamiliar with photo voice, is a methodology where people use some type of photos or imagery in order to share the stories and narratives and experiences of a group of people or individual, right? So let's just say I want to study the experiences of Black males in higher education in small schools, right? Like I just wanted to share that. I may give them a few prompts, give them some things to talk about. And then I say, hey, listen, I want you to record yourself, or I'll record you, and I'm going to ask you these questions and you share it. And then we share that information out. Now, some may do it in the form of an exhibit, like you would go see artwork, or they may do this in the form of some other type of virtual experience. In the conversation she was having, this person, because it was during COVID, did a virtual exhibit, and they put it on Wix. Now, let's take a moment to think about how smart and genius this is and how they can use this degree in multiple ways. Number one, because you designed a Wix website, you're now gaining the expertise and knowledge, or any type of web platform that you can do this. More than likely, your school has access to resources and instructors and people who are gifted at this, they can teach you. And so once you learn it and learn how to do it, not just for doing photo voice, but just in general, learning how to design websites for researchers, for students, for faculty, you pick the group and you target that group and you position yourself as an expert. That's one way you can do that. Number two, if you learn to use artificial intelligence in this process, every day is something about AI. AI this, AI company done this, AI company has the threat of this. That is the future. So if you're already learning how to use this in your doctoral journey, please understand that there are some people who are terrified of Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude, but they don't want to be caught left behind. They literally do not want to be stuck at the standard phone where you just press the button and cellular phone. I mean, not cellular phone, but the old school phones. Like, they don't want to be stuck in that age. They don't want to be stuck in the email age. They want to evolve. They're just looking for someone who's going to be comfortable and bold enough, but make it comfortable for them to learn. That's where you come in. Hello. You can make it very simple for people. The basics of ChatGPT, the basics of Claude, helping them to understand the difference between the platforms and why you choose one over the other. This isn't something you can do, and people will pay you for it, okay? And then the other part of this is that because you were doing video or photo-based research. You understand other things around. Like, you're not a photographer, but you can begin to help a person understand how they can tell their story in a different format. Which brings me to number 4. There are some people who are going to be going forward with doing research studies, and they don't want to do the traditional things. They don't want to just read a bunch of things. They don't want to just do a bunch of statistical analysis and then it's just a bunch of words and numbers on the screen. They want to find creative ways to share the information. They're actually creatives at their heart. They just are afraid to explore that. But because you have done it, you can show them through your website the ways in which they can create this. They can create their own Wix websites. They can create their own podcasts where they talk about these things. They can create their own YouTube channels and other platforms that they want to use. And they can own it. Not the university who's going to own that dissertation. You own it and you distribute that for a fee. These are just like some ways in which I be thinking about things that I wish that more people talked about before they started their degree. But even if you find yourself at the point where you're in this right now, even if you're close to being at defense, I want you to think about these ideas seriously. Really start with the question of, how can I use this dissertation to create additional opportunities and financial-based income generating ideas? That sounds like something I will put into an AI. Because you've been using it anyway, truth be told. So why not go ahead and use it in this way? Now, building out the business plan and all that, that can come. But you got to first envision and see the idea that you're going to do. Before you begin to run, you've got to take the first step. Before you start driving the vehicle, you got to turn on the power button. And that's where the place where I think people often get stuck is they say, they see themselves driving. They see themselves going to the destination, but they haven't pressed the power button. And what I'm explaining to you is the power button. And look, this is what I do with the people that I coach in the Graduate School Collective program, because I help them to think about not just the degree, but all the opportunities and options that it comes along with it. Picking graduate programs align with your goals. So if your goal is to get to 6 figures, but you work in a field of education where you know that's not going to happen based on the current job that you have, then let's think about other ways that we can do that. Okay, let's think about other options and avenues that exist outside of the confines of the norm. You don't always have to go into academia. And you can be in academia and do this, okay? I know plenty of people who have businesses and work in academia and never compromise a thing. So I'm just saying, if you're serious about this and you really want to talk more about this, this is the space and place where I love to explore, where I love to coach and get people to the place to where they see themselves as the experts and they get the income that they want. I don't have this book behind me, Graduate School Collective, if I don't think about other ways to use my dissertation. I don't build a business that is made over 6 figures unless I think about other ways to use my dissertation. I don't have the freedom and autonomy to go explore and bring my family on trips with me where I go work for fun. And if I don't do the dissertation and think about other ways, I didn't do photo voice, but I did photo elicitation. But it helped me to think about other ways that we can do this. And I want to help you. So send me a message. And in the message, I just want you to write a simple word, photo. And we can begin to explore this conversation even more. But you got to take the first step. And I'm giving you some of that now. But I can help you build the rest of it out. I look forward to talking to you. Have a good one.